Okay, so we finished up at the gym. We got some food in us, we're chilling, we did some work, we did all that fun stuff. But now we're gonna talk about the man Charlie. So just to give you guys a little bit of a background rundown of who Charlie is, he's a very philanthropic human being. Typically most of his videos are about him giving away money. Well, let's watch this guy.
What's your dream?
I really want to open my own food truck at some point.
Your own food truck? Meet me at the window. I want to talk to you about that.
Hi!
Hey! What's the food truck gonna be about?
Right now we're thinking pretzels. You know, it's a snack, it's a meal, it's whatever you want it to be.
Well, how can I buy one?
I mean, I can bring you some tomorrow if you want to come back.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I'm gonna try these.
All the feel-good shit, hey?
Oh my goodness!
All feel-good stuff. Look at him. Look at him. Look at those pretzels like fire.
Anything like this in my life. I had an idea. What if we surprised her with $5,000 and started a GoFundMe so she could kickstart her dream? We're about to surprise Kelsey right now. We're about to get a world famous actor on the phone with Kelsey. He owns a pretzel business. He's been in movies like Steve Jobs, and now you see me. I can't wait to see her reaction. What's up? I got something for you. What? Your dream.
Okay, so as you can see, he leads you along, he tips baristas, oh my goodness, thank you so much. All that good stuff, okay? So with all that being said, he's pretty popular on TikTok. You know how TikTok is basically like three things. It's either like really good fitness like information, or it's like attention grabs, or just like super toxic shit. Funny stuff, obviously there's like a bunch of different stuff on TikTok. This guy makes a really good approach out of it, and he gives away a lot of money, and people fucking love him for it. Of course, he's gonna get hate, and this is actually really similar to a video done by Drake. In the God's Plan music video, he spent the whole music video, and I'll show you guys here. This budget for the video was $1 million. We gave it all away. The whole idea behind his video is he goes through and starts giving away all this money all across Florida. Families, all these different people, like students, all that stuff. Yeah, I genuinely thought it was one of the greatest music videos that I've ever seen in my fucking life. And he got so much fucking hate for it. So much fucking hate for it because he was giving away stuff and he wasn't doing it in a quiet manner. I really don't agree with that. I think that if you want to give money away or give services away, why not talk about it? And people will say shit like, oh, well, he wouldn't have given that money away if he didn't get any sort of recognition. So what? So what? Right? Winning the Super Bowl, you get massive recognition. Winning a gold medal, you get massive recognition from an entire country. What do you get out of it? Like, people want the recognition, right? You want to be known as an Olympic gold medalist. And when it comes to giving money away to homeless people, or, you know, tipping a barista $500 or helping her start her like dream life, people are gonna shit on them for that as like a result of giving shit away to helping people. He still did it, and it might inspire other people to do the same, and that's the whole idea behind it. So yeah, so that was God's Plan. Like, that was that music video. But that's who Charlie Rocket is, and I've seen a few of his posts in the past, but one of the things that I want to touch on here is take a look at his face in this video, all right? I'm not too sure how long ago this was. We can scroll back and see what's up, maybe see like a photo of his face, what he looked like. Okay, this one looks interesting. Okay, the video's a little skewed here. But just by seeing this part of the video, you can see that like, he definitely looked a little skinnier. So as you can see, he's gained quite a bit of weight. So you'll see the photos of him like down there, and then you'll see stuff from his most recent video that he's been getting a lot of flack for right here. So as you can see through the video, 235 pounds. I believe, I haven't read through this completely, but I believe he was somewhere in the range of like 170 pounds at one point. So he's put on quite a bit of weight. So let's take a look at the reel/TikTok that he's been getting all this fucking hate for.
I'm up 2 pounds. That don't make no damn sense, man. Bro, you live with me, man. You see what I'm doing. Okay, what's everything I've been doing? Workout every day. Remove sugar, vegan, and keto. Cardio within the fat burning range. Remove coffee. Meditation, lifted weights, blood test, DNA test. I'm at a calorie deficit, taking all the vitamins and supplements instructed by the human biologist. Let's see how my sleep was last night. We're at 91. That's the highest I've ever been. Let's pray this works. It's not the week I thought I was going to have. I am tired.
I just want to say that that last clip where he has all of those supplements or all of those vitamins and saying like, let's hope this works. I promise you, no one's really that unique that they can't lose weight like going into a caloric deficit. If Charlie is struggling with not being able to lose weight, the fact of the matter is he's not in a caloric deficit, right? He could be going for a fucking half a marathon run like he's talked about he's done. He's talked about like lifting weights and like walking and doing cardio and stuff like that. But how much do you really burn in like a session of running, for example? Like 500 calories from going on like an hour-long run? How easy is it to overconsume 500 calories? Like 2 Cliff Bars? So as you can see in here, like in this post, let's take a read of it actually. I got on the scale and I'm up another 2 pounds. I'm trying not to let this ruin my mood, but I never would have thought in 13 weeks I'd have gained over 6 pounds. All my stories, I've published DNA tests, my blood results, my calories burned, my calories consumed, and everything we've done to try to figure out why I'm not losing weight. You can see everything we've done in the past 13 weeks, and yet I have not lost a pound. The doctors and my human biologist, Gary Brecka, are thinking that I may have something called leptin resistance or leptin sensitivity. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys what is leptin. Leptin is a hormone released from fat cells in adipose tissue. Leptin signals to the brain, in particular to an area called the hypothalamus. Leptin does not affect food intake from meal to meal, but instead it acts to alter food intake and control energy expenditure over the long term. So is leptin good for weight loss? In terms of weight loss, more leptin is not necessarily what matters. How well your brain interprets its signal is much more sufficient or significant. Therefore, taking a supplement that increases blood leptin levels does not necessarily lead to weight loss. So leptin is essentially a chemical. This chemical basically alerts your brain to let you know that you are full. So when you have high levels of leptin, it signals to your brain, hey, you're full, you're good, you're fine, all right? So what Charlie is talking about here is having leptin resistance or leptin sensitivity, basically inferring that his body's ability to regulate the response from leptin to the brain is stunted. So let's take a look at that in like layman's terms. He's basically saying that his body is sending your full signals to your brain and the brain is saying, I don't give a fuck. So what does that mean? Let's continue reading. A lot of you guys are thinking I have a thyroid issue. My thyroid is normal. I will also mention that having things like Hashimoto's or an irregular thyroid, more likely than not, it will downregulate your BMR, the amount of calories that you can burn, somewhere in the range of like 20 to 30%. So let's say this person's BMR is 2,000 calories, it comes down by 20%. Essentially his BMR is going to be 1,600 calories. So he's burning 1,600 calories. He's burning somewhere in the range of 29 to 3,800 calories per day. So let's say it's 3,000. Add those two together, that's 4,600. If he's consuming 2,200 calories a day but burning that much, he should be losing just under a pound every single freaking day. So what's wrong with this whole idea is that, we'll keep reading because I'll tell you exactly what's going on. Other people think it's impossible to gain weight while being in a caloric deficit. It is impossible. It is impossible. I will repeat that again for everyone listening at home. It is fucking impossible. I will show you guys the law of thermodynamics. All right, the first law of thermodynamics states energy can be changed from one form to another, but it cannot be created or destroyed. The total amount of energy and matter in the universe remains constant, merely changing from one form to another, thus signifying that the amount of calories you consume and the amount of calories you burn, if you can accurately represent the amount of calories you intake versus the amount of calories you burn, being in a caloric deficit will forever be the constant. If you're in a caloric deficit, you are losing energy, you will lose weight. There's no fucking workaround around that. That's just the way it is. It's a law, not a theory, a law. So let's continue here. Check my stories, you'll see my calories burn every day. I'm consuming about 2,200 and burning about 2,900 to 3,800 calories per day. I'm publishing my hormone tests on my stories as well. For those wondering, I've been vegan, removed all sugars, all processed foods, only drink water, removed caffeine, removed 80% of carbs, including all white carbs. As far as exercise goes, we've done high intensity, low fat burn zone exercises, boxing, lifting, running, and walking. I pray we find the answers and I'm finally to the place where I realize I'm not the problem. I'm not the problem. So obviously he seems like he's in a pretty like desperate place, right? You've tried everything. Calorie deficits, removing all carbs, all sugar, all fats, all whatever, caffeine, carbs. I just want to iterate one thing. Being vegan, removing all sugars, all processed foods, or anything on this list will not elicit weight loss. It may help, but it's extremely restrictive. What's shitty about that restriction is people are more likely to what? Binge eat. People are more likely to binge eat. In going through Charlie's posts, continue going here. Here's the thing, all right? We have a lot of people coming in with their reasons why it's not working, why freaking They're supporting him. They're saying like, oh, hopefully you'll find the answers, etc. And then you'll have an influx of fitness influencers who come in and talk about what exactly is going on. And for the most part, they're right. Okay. Let's see some of the comments. All right. Charlie, you're doing everything, and I think you're stressing. Unfortunately, stressing causes cortisol to be released, and that is not a friend of weight loss. I'm going to reiterate, the reason that cortisol is not a friend of weight loss is not because it innately gives you the ability to retain more fat mass. It forces, it is basically a stress hormone. And how do people who are overweight most likely deal with their stress? They eat in excess. Give yourself a break. Just eat right, exercise enough, don't overdo it, and give yourself a break from the scale. We love you, even if you think you're not perfect, think about it, who is? Relax a little bit, and my hope is when you get back on the scale, things will be better. That's a fucking amazing advice, okay? Amazing advice. Now, this person didn't particularly say that cortisol is like the reason, but she is right in saying it's not a friend in weight loss. It really isn't. Kells Loves Music says, sounds like insulin resistance. That can easily be debunked if you take a look at any of the published studies done by, Lane Norton. You can take a look at the PMIDs that I'll post inside of the description. Basically stating that regardless of how insulin sensitive or insulin resistant your body is, if you burn more calories than you consume, you will lose weight. Insulin will have nothing to do with that. Intermittent fasting, problem solved. That's just not true whatsoever. Let's go through some of these. You need more protein, ditch the vegan thing. Both are not gonna help, all right? Both are not gonna help. More protein, yeah, for sure, it'll keep him from being hungry. Ditch the vegan thing, I completely agree. But I'm just here to say one thing. Let's watch the rest of the video, actually.
I'm up 2 pounds. That don't make no damn sense, man. Bro, you live with me, man. You see what I'm doing. Okay, what's everything I've been doing? Workout every day. Remove sugar. Vegan. Aim keto. Cardio within the fat burning range. Remove coffee. Meditation. Lifted weights. Blood test. DNA test. I'm at a calorie deficit. Taking all the vitamins and supplements instructed by the human biologist.
Let's see how my sleep was last night. We're at 91. That's the highest I've ever been.
Let's pray this works. It's not the week I thought I was going to have. I am tired of gaining.
I'm disappointed. I honestly thought this week was going to be the week that everything changed.
You had a ton of energy for the most part of this week.
Man, we gotta figure this out.
It's time that we aggressively go after it for left itself.
We might have found the solution. The doctor said it's where like this hormone is not getting to my brain that's saying burn fat.
Okay, now that chemical does not say to a brain to burn fat. That chemical says to the brain that you're full and you don't need to eat anymore. So, what advice would I give Charlie? Number one, he seems like a rich enough guy where I believe that somebody is creating the meals, writing out the calories, writing out the macros for him. Number one, the person who is creating these meals for him is not allowing him to track, but they're tracking it for him and assuming he eats nothing else, and they could be grossly misrepresenting how many calories he's actually eating. Does the dietitian that he's working with, does that person really have an understanding of going with calories in versus calories out? Or is this person just saying, eat these meals, I got you, don't worry, and Charlie ends up asking, how many calories am I eating right now? Just as a baseline guess. Option number two, he's tracking all of his macros, but grossly misinterpreting them. No one's teaching him how to actually track macros because he has all these people around him who's saying, oh fuck, yeah, this macro counting thing isn't working, or the caloric deficit thing isn't working, it's gotta be something else. And they start throwing all of these different scientists at him, people who develop intensive amounts of research in hormone production in the body and insulin sensitivity, all this stuff that truly does not matter from the weight loss perspective. But in the realm of weight loss, one thing stands true: caloric deficit. If you want to know exactly what I think is happening with Charlie, I think someone is creating his meals for him. He's eating them throughout the day. He's crushing his cardio. He's doing his thing. He's working out. Just gonna go out on a limb and say, I believe he's not being very truthful about the things that he's eating. I could be wrong, and I could be, maybe the dietitian who has him on this plan of the foods that he's supposed to eat is really messing him up and not properly understanding how his body operates, or properly understands how his macros or how his calories actually work, what his actual BMR is, what his actual rate of energy burned is, etc. But what I really believe is something that I used to do. And what I used to do is whenever I got meal plans or things set out for me where I wanted to lose weight, etc., we'd get to the end of the night, everyone would go to bed, I would hop into the kitchen and I'd have a couple of bowls of cereal. Maybe a Cliff Bar there, maybe a bite of a slice of pizza here. You become a lot more loose with the things that you're doing because you start to create these excuses for yourself. Like, oh, like I'm doing so much cardio, like I'm doing so much working out, like I'm totally chill to have a bite of this pizza. Generally you are. But if you take up all of those little bites and little like late night, like I'll grab one cookie, or like, you know, I'll have a few of these almonds. You add all that stuff up across the end of the day, it adds up to become a full extra meal, or two, depending on how bad the binge eating really is. At the end of the day, caloric deficit will always stay true. I've seen nothing to prove to me that insulin resistance, you know, hormone resistance, you know, down-regulated thyroid would elicit not being able to lose weight. Will it make it harder? Yes. But does harder mean impossible? Never. So what is my recommendation for Charlie? My recommendation for Charlie is two things. Number one is he can be a bit more forthcoming about what he's eating at night, if that's truly what's going on, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, because people who have gone through disorders like that do that all the time. It's about owning up to your mistakes, finding the help that's needed when it comes to this disorder, because it's something that affects a lot of us. I'm not trying to bash the guy for eating in the middle of the night. I'm truly just trying to help. The second thing is, if he wants to take it to the extreme, I will guarantee you, if he had like someone watching him or watching over him and clearing out his room of any snacks or any hidden shit, and he slept in front of the door, like some bodyguard slept in front of the door for like 90 days, and he ate the calories that he thought he was supposed to, and still hit the same amount of cardio, I will fucking guarantee you this man is down eating 2,200 calories at 235 in 90 days, 30 pounds, easy. But that's it. What do you guys think? I'm gonna put down those PubMed articles down below talking about insulin resistance and its effect on weight loss when it comes to being in a caloric deficit. That's essentially it, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this other type of video that I create, and hopefully Charlie gets the help that he wants, because he's a fucking awesome dude. And if I could be like anyone and I wasn't doing what I'm doing right now, giving away money and making people's dreams come true is like it literally just makes you tingle. So I truly believe that Charlie can fucking do this. I'm rooting for him 100%, and I hope that the people around him stop affirming his beliefs that there's something extremely wrong with him, when all of his blood tests say he's fine, his thyroid is fine. He's just gotta peel back the onion a little bit and look internally and be like, do I really fucking want this? That's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon. Like I said, if you guys like these videos, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below if there's someone that you want me to review next. But I hope you guys have an amazing day. I'll talk to you soon. Peace out.